Good evening. Mein Name is Dr. Franziska Frank and I'm German. And so I have very effective ways to make this world a better place. But if I want to be a nice German for once, I work out how to do that. So I've written this book about our brains. And the good thing is that if once we understand how our brains are working, then poof, Germans like poof, then poof, we make ourselves better people and make the world a better place. Or at least we don't make it worse. I wanted a really good title for that book, so I called it, You've Got No Idea What Our Brain Is Doing, because we are stumbling through our everyday life, but if we do understand what our brain is doing, then we can actually force our neurons to come together and make the world a better place and everything will be better. In German, that's one word. But my agent wouldn't let me call it that. So now it's called 24 Karat Erfolg. 24 because that's the purest gold you can have. Erfolg is success, which is very nice. And Karat is very close to karate, which is good for a nation that used to have invasion as its national hobby. Take this Belgium, take this France. So in German the title works very well. In English I have a slight problem, because when I announce the title of my book, it sounds very much like 24 karat success. So I looked up carrot on the net. Don't ever look up things. It ruins your relationship. I looked up the word relationship last week and discovered that mine had finished. What did I come back to the carrots? I found out that if you eat 10 carrots per day for 2 weeks, you turn yellow. You look like a walking piece of gold. So possibly the title of my book was actually fine. But no, carrots are not half as healthy as gold. Well, you try and pay for your next spinach quinoa smoothie with a bunch of carrots and see how far you get. And also, if now I divide, I'll put this down. Very German aggressive. If I divide you now and I do a very German experiment, I'm going to shine a bright light on you and you're going to have to read some words. We have ways to make you read. And this side of the room, I give a pair of sunglasses that has a big Ray-Ban sticker on it. They're worth 3 grams of gold. And your side gets the same sunglasses with a big mango sticker on it. Who do you think can read the words better, can read them faster with less mistakes? Right, of course, the Ray-Ban side. It's like when I say to that side, I've got this painkiller. It's great. It does poof to your pain. That's nice. And it costs £100 per pill. And I give you the same pill for 80 cents. Your brain won't react at all. Only your brain will do something. Our brains are wonderfully capitalistic, motivated by money and value only. That's why in my book, carrot number 4 is about motivation. So what happens when you don't know what your brain is doing, when you haven't read my book? Then either you buy 2 cheap sunglasses, or 2 cheap painkillers, or you end up being called Franziska Frank. When I was born, I was meant to be called Knut. But when I was obviously not male, my parents were a bit lost. In comes an uncle, and he suggested, why don't you call her Franziska? He was born in 1928. That means by the time my birth came around, he had heard the name Francesco Franco thousands and thousands of times. Is he a fascist, or was he a fascist? Well, that's a different talk. But because his brain works like all of our brains, he loves fluency. And Karat 24 is about storytelling and how to use that. And so I was named a female dictator. My husband and my clients say it's all in the name, and they are so fearful that they change without me having to talk to them. Very efficient. So of course I was warned, and therefore our children got very sensible names: Carla, Hanno, and Nora. With Hanno we had a small problem because he was meant to be delivered 10 days early, so that the doctors could have some quality time with his heart the size of a large gobstopper. They wanted to have him delivered on the 23rd of May, and we said, no, please save our son, but not on the 23rd of May. You see, my grandfather was born that day, and he ended up with a front row seat at the Nuremberg trials. Front row, he was sitting there with Goering, and he said, "I'm more criminal than you, Jodl. I will swing higher and freer than you, Kaltenbrunner." Chapter 14 and 18 are about that. Not about swinging or yodeling, more about comparing and status. We thought one war criminal per family is enough. And so we decided to have Hannah delivered on the 24th of May. That's only Bob Dylan and Queen Victoria. That feels quite safe. So we'd saved Hannah's heart and we'd saved him from fascism, or so I thought. Until a few years ago, this daughter in this typical teen way, my biggest daughter, comes up to me and says, "Mama, you always say you're so objective, aren't you?" I say, "Objective enough to understand that this is going to be a subjective attack." "Mama, my name is Carla." "Yes, darling, the fact that you know that makes me think the Berlin school system isn't so bad after all." "And you know, Mama, your grandfather, great-grandfather, the swindling, fraudulent lawyer, his name was Karl, wasn't he?" "Ah, coincidence. You were named after Karl Marx." "And you know the uncle who named you Franziska, whose liver still shone after 40 years of binge drinking at autopsy? His name was Norman. That's like Nora, isn't it?" No, coincidence. We named Nora after the norovirus. Always keeping us on our toes. "And you know you had Hanno delivered a day late, so that he wouldn't go war criminalizing in future." Or as a teen, actually. You can start that now. "But you know the war criminal's name was Hans. Just like Hanno, isn't it?" So time for some empathetic parenting. "Carla, you will now go to your room and write 10 times, 'It's objectively wrong to say that your mother is subjective.'" But then I realized that, of course, my brain had fallen into the same trap as had my uncle's. And I needed to write this book about the brain to uncover the gold in us, to give us the 24 carats, how to become golden in ourselves. And the story that I have in my mind is, imagine the following. You're back in 1955 and you're a Thai monk and you're moving this huge Buddha from one place to the next. The problem is one of the ropes breaks and the Buddha slams to the ground. Breathe through that, monks. Mindfulness is chapter 13. So they go to the Buddha and they look at it by the side, they crouch down and see something shimmering golden. And they start hacking away at it, hacking away at it, hacking away at it. Resilience is chapter 8. Hacking away at it, and until they uncover this solid Buddha, gold Buddha, worth $200 million in money. Hidden from Burmese invaders in the 18th century. And that same thing is true for you. Not the Burmese invaders. But you all have gold inside you. And in order to uncover it, there are 2 ways. One, you can go and slam yourself to the ground, but don't do that now. Do that at the exit. I'm insured for soul breakage, but not for body breakage. The other option is to buy my book and gently turn yourself into a 24-karat golden person who can help make this world a better place. How much is this world-saving book? Well, it's £999. And for those of you who are not part of my study, it's £9.99. Thank you very much.